Welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me here with the next part of the healer role quest. So we're back in Alamigo and about to see where the story is going to take us. So the next quest is called A New Battleground. Here to see Commander Al'dah, I take it. This way, please. And instantly a chocobo's butt appears right in front of us. Hope that's not a sign of what's to come. A request for an audience with the Sultana has been accepted. Before we depart, I'll share what we've learned since last we spoke. The blasphemy continues to elude us, all the while driving others to succumb to despair in turn. Even with Alamigan and Udon forces searching for signs of the beast and more potential victims, we're yet to discern a pattern in the chaos. Nevertheless, if our blasphemy is like others, its behavior is likely dictated by the passions and regrets of the man it once was. Therefore, any information concerning him and the life he led may help us to track it down before it strikes again. We don't want people to shun the families of the skulls any more than they already are, but the fact remains that the vast majority of the beasts have been born from them. They're the ones at greatest risk of turning, without question. Ul'dah concerns me too. She came close to transforming once before, so I think it might be best if we keep her out of this after all. I mean, she deserves a chance to make amends. Yeah, she feels really responsible for this, and I think that's only going to cause more harm than good. I'm inclined to agree with Claire. She was able to resist the transformation and has shown no signs of succumbing since then. If she wants to do her part, I say we let her. If only I could go in her stead. Actually, I was hoping you'd come with us to meet the Sultana. I believe she would benefit greatly from your understanding of the struggles our people face. You'd gain from the experience too. While she's not the sort to brandish a sword and charge into battle, you soon discover she's a champion of her own arena, as brave as any warrior. I doubt she has much to learn from the likes of me, but it would be an honor to make her acquaintance. Arnval and I will go on ahead and wait for you in the hustling strip. We'll see you anon. Arnval is just so hard on himself. He really sees himself as no one special. And I wish that we would actually have a chance to try healing him ourselves. I mean, I don't know if we could at this point, but I mean, I would love to at least try to heal him. Like, maybe that's the whole point, like, at the end of the story, like, we help Arnval to get back on his feet. I mean, that would be really nice. I'm not saying, like, we cure him completely to the point that he can actually fight again as a warrior as if nothing happened, but at least help him to be able to walk again, and then he could just slowly train himself to start fighting again. But I got the feeling that that's not the point that they put him in the wheelchair to begin with. Been a while since we've been here. I'm sure Ralbon's looking forward to seeing Nanamo again, by the way. It's been a while, I'm guessing, that they've seen each other. It's the first time I've been back here since I discharged myself from the infirmary without telling anybody, mind. I must remember to stop by and offer my thanks and an apology. I only let her out of my sight for a moment! Oh no, she ran off, didn't she? Master Papachon was just telling us that Nanamo, or should I say Lady Ul'dah, has gone on another of her jaunts about the city. Though it is not my place to question her Grace's judgment, I do wish she had consulted me before running off on her own, and perhaps I'm overthinking it, but it's unlike her to keep guests waiting. If I may say so, sir, with blasphemies appearing throughout the land, it's a dangerous time to be going for a stroll. I suspect that may be the very reason she wishes to see for herself how the citizenry fare in these trying times. Even so, it's downright reckless. We'll find her, though. No, I couldn't possibly allow such esteemed guests to... Now, we might be here on official business, but we're old friends, and as you may remember, I have a knack for tracking down the errant sultanas. Some might say that knack is rather charitable. I should be glad for the assistance. I'll take a look around here. Quizzing the locals will give me an opportunity to learn of recent going-ons in Ul'dah, too. Well then, there's no time like the present. Fear not, with me on the case, this will be over before you know it. She's supposed to be meeting us here. Maybe we should wait for her to come to us? That's a good point. Just between you and me, Reborn has never had much luck at finding Lady Ul'dah. Rather the opposite. Which isn't to say that he's misrepresenting his capabilities. Perhaps his recollection of events simply differs somewhat from reality. So in other words, he's going to be completely useless trying to track her down. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so let's look around here. Trying to find her. Yeah, I know that Reborn really does care a lot about Nanamo. She's like a daughter to him almost. Like, I would go as far as to say that they do have that father-daughter relationship. And I think that she's also really close with Pippin, especially since he took over the role as the leader of the Mortal Flames. So, I don't know. I kind of see something between those two. I think it would be really adorable if they got together. It's some time since I last combed these streets for young Ul'dah. As a matter of fact, Papashan and I would compete to see which of us could find her first. As I recall, most of the contests ended in my favor. Well, somebody's clearly lying here. The trick, you see, is to look past the disguise and pay attention to the gestures and mannerisms, the tiniest movement that might give her away. Come, I'll show you how it's done. Oh, like we don't know how to track someone down. Oh, so we're following after him now. So either he or Papashan are lying about who was better at finding Nanamo. I'm actually kind of more inclined to believe Papashan. She's fond of pursuing the stalls here. Of course, I mean, who doesn't love shopping? Personally, I don't think she would be here in the markets right now. I mean, she would be more focused upon the people at risk of turning. Oh, she's been abducted? Oh no! He's starting to panic. One of these pots? Perhaps not. Oh, man, you're grasping at straws here. Come on, calm down. You're making a scene right now. Never known to be this elusive. Okay, but we just walked one street. Okay. Oops, hold on. That's odd. I tried all of her usual haunts, so unless she's hiding inside a barrel or something equally nonsensical, she must be elsewhere. God, why did she choose now of all times to run off? What if she's been abducted or run afoul of a beast? Calm down, buddy. There's no need to assume the worst, we just need to keep looking. You're right, I know, but it's hard not to worry. Where could she be? Come to think of it, something Papashan said caught my ear. He thought Nanamo went on this excursion because of the emergence of the blasphemy and the beast, to better understand how our people are coping with the situation. If so, she'd be driven to seek out the most desperate and destitute. Pearl Lane, then. Might I ask you to lead the way? I'll admit my ability to track down missing persons may have dulled somewhat. Okay, leave this to a real professional. Pearl Lane has ever been plagued by pickpockets and the like. I'll watch your back, so go on ahead and give the search for Ul'dah your full attention. Okay, we have more than enough experience tracking down missing people, and just leave this to us, Reborn. Ooh, what's this? While it may not be immediately obvious, conditions here have improved considerably of late. Her Grace continues to support the rebuilding efforts in Girubanya, which has led to the creation of jobs for many of the locals, both here and on the other side of Balsar's wall. Well, that's good to hear. It does look a little bit more busier than it used to be. Some say money can't buy you happiness, but they've never tried living without it. Those who call Pearl Lane home never had the luxury of choice. The city's poorest live here, and as such are at greatest risk of turning. Knowing this, I expect Ul'dah came to learn from their plight. Yeah, I mean, it does look like some changes have been going on here. In every society, there are the haves and have-nots. And seldom is this divide more sorely felt than here in Ul'dah. Many of the young and able-bodied work for Lolorito as guards, though he earns more in an afternoon than most will in a lifetime. Yeah, that sucks. And okay, so let's try up here. So she should be around here. There she is. Lady Ul'dah. Reborn, whatever are you doing here? And clear too. While I am glad to see you both, our meeting is not yet due to commence for several bells. What is the meaning of this? We were worried, and with good reason. These are far too dangerous times to be roaming about alone, Your Grace. Some things never change, but I assure you I'm quite capable of looking after myself in my own city of all places. More importantly, I wish to observe firsthand how the people here have been faring of late, that I might be better prepared to participate in our discussions later. But I have finished. You will be comforted to hear. And pray allow us to escort you to more amenable surroundings. Would you care to ride on my shoulder? Oh, that's cute. Certainly not. You've already attracted more than enough attention. Aww. They're so cute together. She's really developed an attitude, hasn't she? Like that I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself kind of attitude. Which is actually kind of nice because she's showing that she has grown a lot. She doesn't really need Reborn to protect her nearly as much as she used to. I mean, she's still a bit reckless, but she's not as naive as she used to be. Okay. I never know which side is actually quicker, so we'll just go in here. Very afraid you and the commander would find her. I have a feeling the search would have taken rather longer if L1 had been left to his own devices. Probably. Okay. I thank you all for making the journey here during these difficult times. And it is my pleasure to promptly make your acquaintance. On behalf of the people of Eorzea, allow me to express my sincerest gratitude for your continued dedication to our cause. With respect, Your Grace, I'm just a soldier. Was a soldier. Still, I say, Commander Alden would not make such a distinction, and neither will I. You yet serve your people and have provided solace to many of Alamigo's most vulnerable. If we are to deal with this threat, we must forearm ourselves with knowledge. I understand you come bearing information regarding the blasphemy and its victims? We have indeed. Hence the need to locate families of NALD members who have fled to THAL. There is no end to the struggles faced by Alamegan refugees, and those who once pledged allegiance to the Empire are no exception. But rest assured that irrespective of their past, all will be treated with an even hand. All will be afforded such aid as I am able to provide. Magna Amoris as always, Your Grace. If I might be so bold, I have a question. What do you have in mind for those most at risk of undergoing the change? I believe there is but one recourse. Earnest and open dialogue. While some are born into unimaginable wealth, others suffer great hardship and oppression. The circumstances of our birth are beyond our control, our fates subject to the whims of the gods, some would argue. I once thought myself a prisoner to my fates, a figurehead, helpless to watch on as my people starved, a powerless puppet. I wanted nothing more than to cast it all aside, to free us all, but failed from my naivety, and then was afforded a second chance for my privilege. The world is unfair, terribly so, but we have the power to push back against inequalities and injustices, if not overcome them on blessed occasions. To love our neighbor and share in life's bounties, to open our hearts and come together as one. Truer words were never spoken. Though it had the support of the people, some words are naught but vain platitudes. Thankfully, my recent attempts to make inroads with the monitoress have met with some success. Despite differing views on many subjects, we yet strive to find common ground. Common ground. I've been pouring all of our efforts into aiding families of the NALD, and while it seemed to help to a degree, some have still succumbed and turned. Of course, they're not the only ones in danger. Alamegans everywhere, whether they sided with the Empire, fought for the resistance, or were caught in the middle, they all suffered. They all wake up in the night at times, haunted by memories of death and despair. You know what can happen if those feelings are left to fester? The legacy of the Imperial occupation will not soon be forgotten, but rather than seek to forget, mayhap it is necessary to remember, to acknowledge and accept the truth of it, that they may properly mourn those they have lost. A remembrance. I propose we hold a memorial service for those who died during the war. Everyone, no matter who they were or what they did. Let them be loved, let them be hated, but above all, let them be remembered. And in the remembering of the dead, in their honor and their sin, we, the living of Alamigo, may yet find a sliver of common ground. It's a noble sentiment, but bringing together people who have reason to distrust one another and risk inflaming tensions could be a recipe for disaster. Then again, we can't keep ignoring the Miadid in the room and do nothing to address the situation. As long as we leave it to the individuals to decide whether or not to attend the ceremony, I think it's worth a try. Organizing an event of this scale will require a great deal of effort, so I offer my full support. Once you know what's needed, come to me and we'll put the plan into action. Obviously, some will balk at the idea, which is perfectly understandable, so I'll be listening to their opinions as well. After all, we want it to be a ceremony that brings Alamegans together. I was wondering, Your Grace, if I might ask about your approach to, well, talking to people, winning them over. As you can tell, I'm no politician, so I'll be grateful for any advice you can share with me. Why, I would be delighted to. As a matter of fact, I have a number of matters I wish to discuss with you. And on that note, I suggest that you and I return to Alamigo. Wonder what Abada and Aluli would say if I could tell them I had a chat with the Sultana. I could hardly believe it myself. To see the Sultana grown to become such a capable and compassionate leader, it brings a tear to my eye. The relationship between Ul'dah and Alamigo is one which I cherish deeply. It is imperative that we coordinate our efforts in facing this crisis. Well, that was nice. Kind of feel like maybe there was no point in coming. Like we weren't really needed here. Then again, I guess if we left Raubon on his own, he probably would have gotten lost around the city trying to find Nanamo. Oh well, let's go on. So, I guess we're just going to be setting up things for this memorial service now. I knew Arnval would make a good impression, but he's outdone himself. Not only has he found a new avenue in life to explore, he's taken to it with considerable aplomb. And while his proposed memorial service is bound to have its detractors, I have faith that many will come around. Not all, but enough, I pray. For our part, we must stand at the ready for whatever may occur. I shall send word if there are any developments. Alright, that's nice. Alright, so the next quest is going to be coming up in laying the past to rest. Wait a minute. That's level 88, but I'm still 87. How can I accept that? I have no idea, but I'm sure I'll find out. So I'll see you all next time. So until then, take care.